So I'm going to pick the environment again, go to Oracle ERP Cloud, and I'm going to select one of the tests that we run in our demo environment. So I'm just picking the one that was run on the 23rd, and it gives you all the different violations that were generated from that analysis. We identify the different exception types, because what I'm trying to do with the exceptions is to identify false positives that are access that are necessary for the business, and I put some compensated controls in place, or I allowed a waiver that allows an individual to have that level of access. And so you can identify the exception type. So in this case, I'm going to say exception by user, and use this as an example, but it can be by role, it can be by form, it can be by buyer. The scope, whether it's global or all, global means all the different SOD rules, or just local, those are specified in your selection. I can select all, or I can select just certain ones that I'm looking for. So let's use an example of, I know there's a user in IT that's causing a lot of violations. And here I'm just going to click on the username, and so I have all the different users that are causing violations. And I'll just grab an individual, and it'll identify those violations, and I can select all. And so I've identified those violations, and now I'm going to go through the process of creating that exception. And so what I do is I go to the submit button, and it'll give me the opportunity justification. It could be an IT waiver, it could be a compensating control. And the real benefit of using exceptions is that it fixes the violation on the current analysis that you're reviewing, and it'll also affect future analyses because you've identified the violation and the exception associated with that violation, and it'll, in future analyses, it'll exclude it from your violations that are being generated. And then I would submit it for approval. And this would route it to the different SOD control owners. It'll be up to them to make a determination if this exception is valid for their control.